City Talk. City Talk. Okay.
20 days straight, and it was so I hated it because we'd go to bed at like 11 or 12 or 1, so we're getting 4 hours, and we have fire guard to watch our shiz. What's up?
I was just telling you the podcast are going, so I'm just working to start it now.
You be sleazy with that clip.
You do. You're like,
you don't tell anyone.
You wait till someone's like fighting, and he's like, beep. He's like just smiling. He's like, this is good content. I'm gonna put it on later. Hey, I need a mic though, for real. You said that earlier.
I know. I want you.
Yeah, so we can hear our mighty Galley's beautiful voice.
My voice.
Galley's back.
Galley's
back.
Bro, shut up.
Galley's
Galley,
back.
Galley, you're back.
I'm back.
This is number 22.
Wow. That's a year of our life. Well, you're 23, I guess.
Yeah.
So far.
You missed 20,
23.
19, 21.
Yeah, I was gone serving our country. You know.
Okay, tell us about how you served our country.
Are you allowed to?
Our
OPSEC, operational security, cannot talk about that. I'm kidding. Yeah, you can talk about it. I think. Actually,
Did you say
I'm not
OPSEC?
Sure. OPSEC.
OPSEC.
You have ComSec,
He's back there having
OPSEC.
sex with
Operation Sexual stuff. Okay, go ahead.
Operation Sexual Intercourse.
We were doing a war games up
What?
in Camp Grayling, Michigan,
Gross.
and we were simulating basically a Baltic state invasion. Like, I'm thinking that we were fighting the Russians in this.
Okay.
So they called them the Denovians. It's this made-up enemy.
Bro, I hate the Denovians, bro.
I know, that's what we were joking
If they
about.
ever came to our country,
Oh, the Denovians are coming. Like, but I'm thinking it's the Russians.
Could they say it like Wakandans? Like, could they make up something like that?
Well, you know what's kind of interesting though is like this is like the war games that we're doing are on a not just
What did they
brigade
look like?
level. They're not on like a brigade level. They're even higher. So like this, so like when the top generals in the nation are talking about their planning for that year, they're like, yeah, we're implementing these types of planning situations. So it's interesting. It's like funny. It's like, oh yeah, we're like fighting the Denovians, but like low key. Like that means the big military is thinking like, all right, we're preparing for Russian type stuff, like Russian incursions into the Baltic states, because we're fighting in coniferous forests, not deciduous. We're fighting in cold weather. We're fighting in like anything that we can do that mimics the Russians invading.
That's dope.
Which is kind of interesting. It's kind of low key freaky because we're moving away from that desert, open type feel to more urbanized, quick reaction forces, heavy armored elements, lots of artillery pieces in play, basically a combination of air, ground, and sea forces. They even at one point they were saying that they brought in destroyers into the lakes, like the Great Lake out there, and they were using that for call for fire missions. So they're trying to, I think, mimic some sort of Russian invasion, which is kind of freaky though. It's like, what do they know that we don't?
Yeah.
You know?
That's dope, though.
It is kind of cool in that sense. Yeah, it's kind of cool in that sense. But, you know, I feel like that's
Was it a Chinese invasion?
See, I haven't heard about that.
What
would probably
makes you
be
think
like,
it's Russian? What makes you think it's Russian?
Because it's the Baltic states. And the Baltics are right next to Russia. Those used to be Russian.
I got you.
But when the Soviet Union fell.
Denovia is supposed to be...
Denovians are like the
Baltics.
Russians, I think. Yeah, we were like the peacekeepers, basically. We're like the UN that was in there guarding whoever was the indigenous people.
Got it.
So that was kind of cool, I guess. It's like the overall, like, scope of what was going on there. But
why do you not want to go see a movie with us after? Or did you say you're going to go?
So I'm particular with movies.
I know.
Where I don't spend money at
but
movie
you're
theaters
a movie
unless
guy.
I like movies. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love movies, but I don't love going to movie theaters all the time. It's only for movies that like I think like that'll be a great one to watch.
Do you just not like the experience of a movie theater? Because I love
I like movie theaters.
It's like relaxing.
I saw Spider-Man 6 times in theaters.
See, that's 6 times what? You had maybe 3 of those were $5, the other 3 were 11.
I
so
know.
That's 33, 15. You're spending $50 minimum going.
And you know what? I'm okay with it because it's supporting Marvel, something I love.
Okay,
Spider-Man.
I mean,
and I want them to make another movie, and that's what I see. My value into that movie helps them make another movie.
I
see
you're not
that
wrong.
In a very
$50.
small sense.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean?
You're not wrong at all. But
Yeah.
like it's like when you go to like a restaurant that you like, right? If you just get like a little bit, it's like I'm
But
supporting.
here's the thing: when you go to a restaurant you like to bring people there to show them, right?
Right, exactly.
That was me. Half of the time, I was bringing people.
But like they don't need you. You know what I mean? Like low key,
They
like,
don't.
They're huge.
But I loved seeing reactions to it. That's why I sit there and like in game where you have heavy reactions.
I get that a little bit,
and I love it.
Well,
I won't even watch the movie. I'll like peek at the movie and then look at like who did I see it with? Whoever I saw in game with the second time. I didn't really watch like carefully because I was watching the people I was with.
See, I get that because then you want to experience it with other people.
And I like that, but I do that. I mean, I still do that with watching movies not in the movie theater though. Like if we're at,
it's just not the same for me.
It's not the same.
So I don't enjoy watching movies.
I would love to own a movie theater. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, you and me should go in together. We talked about this before.
We've talked about it.
It'd be the dopest movie theater.
I'll put a coffee
ever.
stand in there.
If y'all are rich and you want to invest in our movie theater,
here's the thing, bro.
Do it.
Like what I want to do would be cool is like have a movie theater, yes, but then also like open it up as like a sort of a nightclub, like to where you have a bar in the middle. Each room is like different theme. Like you can do some other stuff with a movie theater. It doesn't just have to be that. You know what I mean? Or like an arcade. I don't know, something.
I want it to be much more interactive in the sense that you come there. You can also come to hang out with like friends and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Having a place is like a place where you can. I wouldn't say in the theaters, but like out front, there's a bar, there's a hangout, and if there's like. You just show up and enjoy. Like if you're like, hey, you want to go to the theater? Sure. And you just go there and you don't have to see a movie. You just hang out.
Yeah.
But then if you want to see a movie, you walk into that dark room.
Go see a freaking movie, bro.
You got whatever you want. Like shoot.
Yes.
That would be dope.
Yes.
Super like first class luxury seating. Seating is such a big deal in theaters now. If there's a theater, because we're about to go to the Warren, they don't have the reclining seats, do they?
Well, they have them in certain. They have them in the suites.
They have them certain.
Those are nice. Too.
Like Cinemark,
those are
they're
heated.
reclining, and B&B, like those seats put it up. I don't think
it's
I would
like
go
the
to
standard
theater
one.
nearly.
It's like standard now.
It's standard.
Yeah,
you have
but
to have
imagine
reclining seats.
Like heated or like vibrating, like whatever you wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
like
like a lazy boy.
Yeah, bro.
Our generation is so luxury based. Like luxury is a must for a lot of our generation. You know what I mean?
I think also with our generation is we need something that separates something from something else, right? Like we having the traditional like Applebee's isn't necessarily good enough because we have different tastes for different things. So you have to bring something new to the table.
Or like getting coffee at Starbucks. Like our generation loves like coffee shops or something different.
Breweries, same thing, right? Like breweries, craft breweries and stuff are like what we're looking for. We're not looking for just drinking a Busch Light every day. Like we want different notes, different flavors, different processes. Mm-hmm. We like that type of thing, and I think that's great. I think that's amazing, and that I think translates to movies. Like it translates to everything. It translates to stores.
Every business.
Yeah, if you're a department store or something, you have to kind of revolutionize how you're going to sell things. Like Kohl's, right? Kohl's was around for forever. Sears, all that kind of stuff. Those go away if you don't adjust.
You don't adapt. Yeah.
So we need something like that, and that's why cable. Like we don't care about cable. Like we don't watch cable. Our generation just did not watch cable. We need things that are different and new and that
personalized.
Like, exactly. It's
kind of
how we're
personalized. See, that's the way. I think that's such a key.
I wouldn't necessarily say. I wouldn't say personalized is like the main thing either.
Customized.
Like, I see. What was I saying? Like even the little things though. What's crazy is how Instagram page could even reflect that of a company too. Like someone does, someone advertises maybe. Like I was looking. I've been doing a lot of research on video production companies, and so like seeing different ones. One had all black and white for their cover, so their entire Instagram page was black and white, like cover photos. Okay. And you're like, that's different. You know what I mean? So it caught my interest. It caught my attention because they're doing something different than other people. Like even to the detail of that, it's insane. Like you like how much of an advantage you have.
Right. Exactly.
So
and that so when it comes to like movies and things like that, like I mean I love going out to the movie theaters. Don't get me wrong. I just don't I don't go near as much as Farquhar. I also didn't have that app forever. Remember like that movie app that you guys used?
That thing was awesome.
Yeah, you guys
Movie Pass sponsor us, but make it better, please.
I don't think they're probably out of business.
I don't think they're around anymore.
I don't know.
I think because people.
Well, I think also the cinemas also like made their own thing too.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. They kind of adapted to that.
Hey, well, Warren did that. But Warren has their own thing now too.
So you guys would love Farquhar, especially. You would love the Alamo Drafthouse in Texas. Yeah, it's mainly around Austin area and San Antonio and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like the Warren, but better. So you have your traditional, you have your really nice seats, right, and everything like that. Like, it's super nice. It's really nice, well-kept. The lobbies are so cool, and, they put so much money into their beautiful lobbies. The biggest thing is they have a little table right in between your seats.
Yeah.
You have a full menu, and it's restaurant-grade food.
What are you doing?
See, here's my thing.
You just sit there.
I knew
you write down something, and then they come around every 5 minutes and just check, and they just kind of walk. And if you got something, they crawl. They literally duck and run under, grab your list, and run back. Dude, you got people making pizzas, nice pizzas, restaurant pizzas.
For me, though, I don't know if that's awesome, but I don't think that'd be my go-to. I think my thing is, as long as your popcorn's good, you give me that good movie feel, then I'm cool. When I think of movie, I think of popcorn, Coke.
I never get popcorn.
I never get popcorn either.
I really.
Never.
No, I'm not a popcorn guy.
I don't get
period.
anything at movies.
But
unless
My
it's like
favorite
ice.
time with my family too is when we go. So we've had a couple Star Wars Christmases where we had Star Wars movies come out during Christmas time, and like some of my favorite Christmas memories the past years have been going to the movies with my family Christmas Day, seeing Star Wars, and like it just gives you that safe feeling for me. You know what I mean?
I get
Yeah,
it.
I get that.
Sure.
That safe feeling is the one that I get
Yeah,
too.
and
It's-
popcorn is part of that. My parents always bought popcorn. And every time we go out to a movie, whatever it might be,
That's a
we're buying
staple of
popcorn.
movie theaters.
Yeah.
And it was
You
never
gotta
for
have
me.
that,
I've just
but
never
I'm
been
with you.
huge on it.
I've always if I have a pop with me when I'm in a movie theater, that's it. That's completed. I don't.
I just
need
do-
it.
I just
our
see that.
childhood was filled with movies too.
It
Because
was.
we went to
every Friday or something like that, right?
our parents did a thing where it was like summer movie, and honestly, it was like old movies you get on DVD. But
like Shrek
they
2 would
played
be
it.
on
Yeah,
there,
they played it at the
right? Oh,
movie
that's cool.
theater, and our parents it's like $1. So our parents would take us and our siblings, and we go out to the movies every
That's cool.
whatever. So
It
yeah,
was
so
awesome
I
like
think
that.
that's that background of that also kind of built that. But I just love it. I love the atmosphere.
And I
of
think
it.
mine then would be I love movies, but we've always had some sort of movie room. Like that's where we like go.
That's
That's
true,
like we
yeah.
have everyone come upstairs.
I've
Like
never
we
had
all.
never had
Never
that.
And that's
that.
we have that giant closet of just movies.
Yeah, that's
so
that's
kinda- it's a little
interesting
different.
because that's now you see it, our backgrounds kind of show why.
Yeah, for sure.
Why you don't want to
It's
go.
an
to
explanation of why we are
Yeah.
the way we are.
It
Because
was so
I mean,
cool.
you love movies possibly more than us, and we go to the movies way more than you in
Right.
in the same sense.
I love
'Cause
movies.
I
I
would
just
assume
never really watch them in theaters.
If I didn't know you, I would say, oh, he probably goes to like the day they come out, he wants to go see them. Farker, you've upped that game big time over the last year or 2 years, but
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
Now, I've never cared to watch a movie in my own house. I don't care to watch movies. I don't want to do it. It's a movie. I don't want to sit in my couch for 2.5 hours and watch a movie.
Yeah.
If I'm going
I
to
hear
do that, I'm going to watch TV.
I
and
feel
watch
that. Or play
episodes.
video game or
Play
something.
video games. I don't like
Yeah.
to watch a movie.
I
If
like.
I do
I
it if
also
I'm with
like.
people and they want to, I'll do
Yeah.
it, but it's not my preference.
When
I
I'm
don't
at
know.
home, I like to do two different things. So I'll put on a show I've watched before and do something productive on my computer or
Yeah.
something like that. That's what my go-to is, or I don't know, but I haven't been big on that either.
Yeah, background noise is such a.
What's the difference between you by yourself and then you with Trinity though?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you guys? Do you watch movies, TV shows? Is there a difference now that you guys are
I've
married?
changed a lot in the sense that I don't care. I could honestly just watch stuff off my phone. She could watch stuff off her phone. If we're just
Really?
gonna
I
like sit
can't
on
do that.
couches, it's fine. I don't need that TV
If I'm
on.
sitting on the couch, the TV
they'll go.
it's the
They'll
TV.
go 5 days for that TV not to turn on.
Golly.
Like, because I don't need the TV anymore. The
Interesting.
phone is right in front of my eyes.
I just
so the
do
screen
YouTube
is big,
too
and
now,
that's
so-
what I do. I use more YouTube than I do anything else.
Yeah, me too.
And I just, if I got a question, I
So
just
you
look
gotta
it
get a
up, or I
playlist
just
going.
Get a,
Speaking of, YouTube has sucked with the ads. They're doubling up on ads. Have you
you
noticed
gotta
that?
click it twice now. Like if you
Yeah.
don't click it, then it just like here's another ad.
And
guess
it-
you're not
I
paying attention.
know,
So it's
yes.
just like, bro, what is happening?
Like, I couldn't watch a 15-minute video today without turning it off and getting frustrated. And, yeah, I was annoyed.
I guess I just get used to it now.
I'm used to
But
it.
the
And
double
I've never
ads,
quit
I
watching.
I
haven't
mean, you
getting
can still
those
do the
recently.
skip ad. So like,
But now you get what'll
well,
happen.
it's still the same time though. Like it's just if it was it
Yeah.
was 15 seconds of ads before, and now it's just two 8-second ads. You know what I mean? Like they're not two 30-second ads back to back. Like they're still I think the similar time frame. It's just split up into two different.
I've never
ads.
had that, so I don't know. But I've noticed that if you got like a 5-second ad, it'll run through to where you can't click the skip because it's 5 seconds or whatever. It'll go to the next ad. But if I have like a minute ad and I can hit the skip, down in the bottom left it'll say one of two ads playing, you hit skip, and it cuts through both of them.
Right.
So it's like, it's seeing if you're paying attention or not. Hey, babe! Hi! My wife showed up.
You didn't say hi, Thurpar.
Wow, what a,
Trinity, me and her speak through our minds, so she felt me say it.
whatever, dude.
That's stupid.
That's
That
inappropriate.
didn't make any sense.
That's gross.
Whatever. Hey, Trinity. I made Trinity puppy chow.
And that'd be telepathically too.
Yeah, you idiot.
Did you get the puppy chow?
Yes,
Did
you
you
gave
taste
it
it?
to her.
Did you taste
No,
it?
you've already asked me this.
Did
couple
you eat
times.
it?
No,
Why didn't you eat it?
because it's hers. You made it for her.
Well, I wanted you to have a bite just to see how good my
I
puppy
also
chow
lied to
would
you.
be.
You guys didn't eat all of it. I kept some in the closet.
Oh, this man made me make puppy chow for nothing.
Well, he didn't
Ah.
make you. You just
Yeah,
did it on
you
your
did
own.
that on
accord.
your own because you're a nice person. But I was also keeping.
I'm not a
my eye
nice
on the-
person. Stop saying that. I don't want to be a nice person.
That's as stupid as
I'm
it
done with
I'm
that.
a dickhead.
What's your IQ? Is it low?
Yours is low because you paid for your IQ to be high.
88.
You remember that?
See?
That's the
Hey,
only-
you
Remember that?
switching to my side.
Yeah.
Me and him.
No.
Yeah,
doesn't
bro,
make
You
any sense.
literally
You have
paid
to-
on
you
accident.
paid for
You
money.
got suckered
You
in.
have to pay in order to get an IQ test. Like that's facts. You have to do that.
Yeah, but you thought
And,
you weren't
do you
paying
think
for
they're
it.
gonna be
okay. I
You're
didn't know
literally
it to the
like,
extent.
oh, it's free. Oh, I'm gonna take an IQ
I didn't know it to
test.
the
And
extent.
then you paid for it.
Oh, it's
Okay.
high, crazy.
Well,
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
know you had to pay
You
for an
paid
IQ test until
Here's
I
your
had to pay
IQ
for it.
score.
every
And the
dollar.
pro-
you
the
put
next
in,
que- yeah.
100 points.
I didn't think you had to pay for it when you first.
See,
did it. I
so
thought it
that
would just be like,
automatically
everyone had to do
lowers
it.
your score. Like,
Yeah.
by
Okay,
at
maybe
least-
it lowered it one bit, but hey, mommy,
You still,
it's so good.
yeah, whatever.
I won't cold take it. I won't cold take it real bad.
Why? Explain to us why you want.
Because it's the same thing. Like why we're competitive about anything. It's
You
just
just want
it's
to
just
see if you can
intellectually
beat me or not.
competitive. Yeah. It's just like intellectually, like by their metrics, where do we stand?
So what's the benefit of me?
It's like your ACT, right? When you're in
That's
high school,
true.
you
Like,
care
why
about
would I
your
take
ACT.
Why
it?
would I take it?
Why would I waste money?
Because
to
obviously you
take
think
it?
there's a possibility that I could be smarter than you.
It's literally
or
like-
a higher IQ than you.
was
It's
just like,
literally you like, hey,
Because it's people with the
Get a
same
tape
with
measure,
similar interests, like me and you.
measure your dick in front of me, and let's measure it up.
We could do that.
That's basically what you're trying
Or
to do.
loses. But we could. Don't look at me
Oh,
like that.
no.
Bro. We've seen it. Like, chill. You know what I mean? Don't look at me like
Fuck,
that.
get out of here.
Your buzzed hair. Ugh. Anyway,
Well, what?
your buzzed hair.
Oh,
I don't like it. I think you should have kept
I
it
don't
long.
like it.
Because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make my hair long.
I'm
and
trying
then
to be a
you just got rid
military
of it.
man like you know.
Now they shave that.
Call me
They don't
military
buzz it.
man Mason. I'm the new guy in town.
That's so
Mr.
stupid.
Mustache. How
That
you
is a
doing?
good stash, bro.
No, it's not.
Colt likes it.
I do like it.
I don't.
I switch back. And
I
forth.
like it.
Sometimes
but
I like
don't,
it.
I don't just in the mustache
You know
in
what?
general. I respect it. How about that?
Well, I have to for my job.
You know what?
Yes.
I'd be barista
yeah.
without it.
When I don't like
I like
it,
your beard.
Will
Like, I
you
wouldn't
shut up
love-
for a second? Dang. Hey.
What?
Hey,
I
you
don't
know the
like-
story about the SVU?
Oh. I don't like it when you shave. I don't like it when you shave. When
I don't
you
like
shave
when I shave
everything
either.
clean shaven. You got the mustache. That's when you look like a pedophile. I don't like that one.
Well, the mustache is definitely filled out a lot more.
It
'cause
has-
you
It's a lot
colored
more
it.
full. Well, no, because
You
it
colored
filled out.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it got bleached
Why do you say that? Why did it get bleached?
from being in the sun.
So you colored it. I don't know. That lowered it a little bit for me.
Bro, what are you talking about? That's like
lowered
normal.
I don't know.
You don't even have a mustache.
I
Yours is
can't
like
grow
a
one.
patch right here on your far left
Okay,
side.
first off,
Dang,
it's,
he's
it
dogging
looks,
your face.
It looks like a big patch, so chill the F out, okay?
And he got some little hairs like on the cheek.
and you
know?
got gray hair everywhere.
Yeah. Joke.
First off, the gray's dope, and I'm never...
I don't think so. Like Doctor Strange,
Trinity!
gray hairs.
I do
dope.
like. Okay, you're gonna ask your wife.
Trinity!
Yeah, Trinity has to lie to you.
What's the
No,
answer
she
gonna
doesn't.
be?
Yes, she
First
does.
off, Trinity tells me the
No.
truth, even if it hurts.
Not about
She's like,
the
"Oh,
gray
that's
hairs.
gross.
No.
Name
Okay.
one instance where
Hey,
she
come
said
here
that.
real quick. Okay, well, she likes it. Listen,
Of course she likes
girls
it.
like
She's
gray.
her wife.
First off, they do. The salt and pepper look, you heard of it?
Yeah,
It's
when you're
dope.
45, that's great. You're 22.
It's dope! I would still rather have it.
That means at 33,
You know
you're
what?
gonna be
I hate your
completely
mustache
gray.
now. It's so gross.
You don't hate
Farquhar,
it.
I'm with you.
No, you
F
don't
your
hate
mustache,
it.
bro.
Farquhar only hates it because we made fun of
Very-
his
very
patchy
in the
blonde hair
middle.
that you can't see.
Whoa, what you mean?
Hey, bro, you're
Hey,
patchy
chill.
too.
I do okay.
Farquhar, you and me can't grow
I
facial
take
hair
care of
right
mine,
now.
but mine's better than
How do you
his.
take? What do you do to
Don't
take
you
care
think
of
mine's
yours?
me?
Yes.
What do you mean? What I do to
'Cause-
take care of it?
Well, like, I
I'll
don't
put some
understand-
beard
How
oil
is
if I'm
yours
trying to
better?
grow it out. You know,
How is yours
Yeah,
better
how is
than
yours
mine?
better than his?
How is it better?
mine's not as patchy as his.
No,
But
I
yours is
like
still
his more
patches of
because
hula
his you
hand.
can actually see.
And when I have mine,
Yeah, you just
like,
can't see
trimmed
mine.
up-
Yours you can't see until you go into like the light. It's like, oh, what the hell,
Bro, when I have mine
Oh,
trimmed
he's got
up,
facial hair. Okay.
Hey
it
Trinity,
doesn't
answer these
look
questions.
bad.
Who's all right? Out of the patchy boys, which one's better?
What? That's not even
hold on,
fair.
I'm gonna preface.
That's her husband.
Remove yourself as a
What
wife.
do you mean?
No, she can't do that.
Look rational.
Trinity,
Our
Trinity
facial
is
hair.
solid. No,
That's our facial hair.
I don't
Who
even
looks-
want you to answer it because I already know.
okay.
Like, that's the thing.
She indicated me.
No.
So then, do you like my gray hair that I'm getting?
Yeah.
Why?
No, that was a lying. Yeah,
Shut
you hear
up.
that? That's
No,
called a
it
lying.
Basically,
That
pressured
sounded like a
into it,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I
like,
do.
hey, you as my
Yeah.
wife, don't you love my hair?
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody
See?
else ask her why she likes
I do
my
like
hair.
it.
Why?
Why?
Because it makes you look distinguished.
Distinguished. What's up,
That's
bro?
fair. I don't hate
I'm
that.
distinguished.
I don't
Thank you.
hate that.
Thank
That's
you.
fine.
That's a good answer.
But here's the thing, though, is when they got married, she didn't want you to have hair. Remember that?
hey,
did
guess
have
who
to
she
show.
did? She did want me to have stubble when we got married. Remember?
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was,
Did I shave?
allowed.
Did I
You were allowed to have
I
a
was
beard.
allowed to have
Yeah,
my
Della,
shave.
you do have
Yeah, I
a
think you
glorious
did.
beard.
Yeah,
I
dude,
wish
it
I could
comes
have
in.
yours.
It comes in well. It
I'll
comes in a
be
lot
honest.
better.
I sometimes envy
You
your
do?
beard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you like
You're
the
also younger,
mustache?
so
Your mustache?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the only reason we like it though is because you got the
See,
scruff.
that
right?
was
Yeah,
more of a
I
truthful
wouldn't like it
than
on
your
top.
gray hair. Though.
Why did you? What are you talking about? Trinity, do you ever really like just up me up for no
I'm
reason?
not gonna BS
She
anymore.
does.
But like, what
No,
about
she
his
does
hair?
it. If she
I'm
doesn't
not
like
BS.
something, she
What
tells
about
me.
his top hair? His buzz spots or his buzz whatever.
My
it is.
buzz spots.
Buzz
So only
spots.
only
Those
certain
are-
spots.
Your bald spots coming in.
Like the receding hairline, is that a fine thing?
I've always had a receding hairline, and it's
Honestly,
not
I
that
never
bad.
even noticed.
Yeah, if
that
you go like
technically
this,
have
like
it.
look at that. Look how bad that looks.
I know it goes.
And it's so bad, but if you're like this,
No,
like just
I
smiling,
never noticed.
like hey, he's kind of cute, you know.
What?
But like his buzzed hair, do you?
But I liked it. Yeah, I liked it when you did it. I mean, I liked your other hair too.
I like
but-
the other hair more.
I mean, I don't
Everybody
disagree
likes
with
the
you.
other hair more.
Yeah, I like the other hair more too.
What?
I said you look great either way.
I thought you said you look genuine. I was like, he didn't want to hear that. He doesn't want to be the nice guy anymore.
I'm not the nice guy. I'm done being the nice.
You
look so
Nice
nice.
guys finish last. That's
Why I treat you like trash? It's
just kidding. We don't believe that except me.
That's a good song. I
It
used to love
low-key
that
is,
song.
and it's like a
10th
joke.
grade, we loved that
But
song.
I'd rock out to that. Yeah.
Bromance? Bromance?
Romance.
Oh, I do remember that.
Nothing really gay about it.
That's
Good
funny.
song. That guy's a
Those
good
are-
singer too. Chester.
Chester knows. Chester.
Chester.
He had a good
That's what he
beard.
used to say.
I remember his beard.
And he got a good dude. Hey, you got a lot of ketchup, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, part. Remember that? Anyways, so facial hair order goes Galley, Mason,
Nope.
Colt.
Opposite.
You're Farquhar.
What about hair order?
Boy, what about all of our friends though? Galley,
And facial hair?
yeah.
Colt and
Davis
Austin are
might
pretty
be second.
similar.
Davis can grow a beard.
Davis
Davis
can grow
Davis
some.
might be first.
It's
I'm not gonna lie to
Galley,
you.
No, because
Davis,
Davis can't do a
Colt.
mustache.
Colton Austin. on the
He's
same
never
level.
tried a mustache though.
Yeah, he has. He hasn't shaved it. It just hasn't.
He
grown.
hasn't done
Hold on.
just the
We
mustache.
gotta go back and make sure Farquhar understands that he does not have better facial hair than me.
That's
No.
true. You don't. That's true.
Hands
You
down,
don't.
3 out of the 4 people in this apartment have
Bro,
said.
look
you do
at
not.
his little black hairs.
It's
right
because
there.
I haven't. I
Okay,
haven't shaved.
his
bro.
isn't perfect. Yours is not even.
Even
close.
when you shave,
know what I
it's-
mean?
I haven't shaved either. Don't
Yeah,
base
but
it
even
off
when
his.
you do, it doesn't look that
Look,
good.
naturally you're at a disadvantage because you're blonde, right?
Right.
So facts, you're already a step
Yeah.
down.
And you look like
Yeah.
Patches O'Houlihan, so
Yeah.
it's still
Whoa,
gonna be
whoa,
awful.
what you mean?
Yeah, kinda.
Right now?
Yeah.
Who's more patchier, me or Colt
Obviously
right
me, because I have like the ones on the side of my face.
I don't even
haven't
think that's,
shaved in
I don't
like a
even think
week.
that you necessarily are more patchy than he is. Though.
Dang.
now? What do you mean?
All right,
You're
Colt, look up.
boosting.
That's not that patchy.
The neck.
That's a
You're supposed to
concentration
shave
of hair.
this.
That's a concentration.
shave
of
the
hair.
neck.
But it's
you
a-
look up. You got right here.
leave that
you got a
spot alone,
gap
bro.
in the middle.
Hey,
you got it
you
to the
too.
You
side.
over here trying to hide the patches.
It's my neck. You shaved the neck.
It's part of it, bro. It's your
It
face.
is part of it. Look at his.
Whatever,
Lift
bro.
up yours. Look, he
Yeah,
still has
that's
the
called,
scruff there.
It's called laziness.
No,
okay?
it's
It's just
not.
together.
It's a part
Bro,
of his style.
when you shave,
without
you
that,
shave the
without
neck.
that, he would look weird. He has to keep that
No,
scruff
not
there.
really. Can you shave that and let me see? Because I want to see. Because you'd probably.
I
better.
guarantee you would
I'll
look
shave
at it and be like,
again.
ah,
once it
this
starts
looks-
filling in more, I shave up to my
See?
Adam's apple.
See.
But
But
that's
before that, you
different.
don't need it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
do.
It
different.
brings it in, and then once it gets
Yeah.
darker and
With
fuller,
scruff,
I get it up.
you
to
have to have the
I don't
neck
even
because
know-
it outlines.
No.
Yes, bro.
Yes,
Look at his face. If he
dude.
didn't have it, you would be
Yeah.
like, I don't
Well,
like that.
I don't know. Well, I don't even know what I'm arguing, to be honest.
because you can't win this.
My
argument
back's
'cause
against
your
the
hair
wall
isn't
because
good.
I'm blonde. That's it.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
also
it
the
is.
patches.
It's
if,
not.
if you had
No,
dark
it's
hair,
not.
I guarantee you,
That's a
he
good
would
point.
still be
You
If
should-
safe.
I had dark
we
hair,
should color your hair and see what comes out.
I'm not gonna color my hair because it probably wouldn't go back. You know,
What? You just cut
What?
it. As
Because
soon as you
doesn't
shave it,
grow?
it stops.
What are you talking about? It wouldn't go back.
it wouldn't go back to
You
blonde.
don't change your genetics.
My dad had the same color hair I did.
No, what? No, stop it. I'm saying we colored.
What
your,
are you saying?
He's getting
You're
dumb.
saying that your hair
If
doesn't.
we were to color your facial hair, right? If we were
Yeah.
to color your
Oh.
facial hair dark brown
Yeah.
for the night,
Yeah.
after you shave that, it comes back blonde.
No, it's not true.
Bro,
Yeah.
It goes
doesn't-
down to your roots, bro.
No,
No.
you're insane.
bro, it changes my genes.
We
It
can even
changes-
color it, bro. Let's color it with a Sharpie, and then we'll cut it.
Yeah, for
Like, I
real.
want to see
A
how
sh-
spotty it is. I look spotty because I'm seeing a profile and I'm seeing like 8 hairs out of the mole.
Hey, next
alone.
week I'm gonna come back and be like, wow, Mason
Bro, don't
is
act like it's
definitely
gonna grow that much
better
in a
than
week.
Cole.
Don't
I would
act like
love
it's
that.
gonna grow that much in a week. Number one,
It will.
What can you do in a week, Colt, with yours?
it doesn't grow that much.
What does your mustache do in a week?
Just gets. Looks
What's a
like
better
it's,
mustache on
darker.
me,
That's
Cole?
what it looks like.
You don't have one.
Yes, I do.
My mustache, if I just let it go for like a month, it would grow in okay because I have all the
that's good.
hairs there. They're all there.
Colt's
They
got
just
better
take forever to
brows
grow.
than you.
I don't have brows.
You keep up with your brows?
No, I don't. I've got that question a couple times in my life.
Your brows look like they're kept.
Yeah,
like they're
I've
well
got
kept.
that quite a few times, and I've never kept up with them.
Hmm.
I actually have one eyebrow kind of flares up a little bit.
But
I've
look
noticed,
at me.
but they are.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, you see
Yeah,
what I'm
okay.
talking about?
Yeah, you can see that a bit.
But no, I don't keep up with them. It's my claim to fame is I have nice eyebrows.
You do have nice eyebrows. They're nice.
And when I wear good shirts, my eyes look pretty.
Oh yeah, I mean we're talking about eyes here. I'm winning, but
Booze.
I don't know about that, dude.
look
Who's-
at these
who's winning?
eyelashes. These eyelashes are insane.
All three
We're
of us
talking
have
about
good
eyes,
eyes.
you know?
Okay, all three of
We
us
do
have
have
good
good
eyes.
eyes.
We
I,
have to
I was the
admit
only one that
that.
won best eyes in Broken Arrow, but you know.
Okay,
whatever, I'm
well
in the year,
we weren't there, so like
That's
chill
Broken
out.
Arrow.
I can show you.
Also-
But yeah, Broken Arrow.
Okay,
We were talking about
so-
Broken Arrow. More people,
Yeah.
more money,
More power.
more power.
More L's.
They do have a lot of L's and they got a lot of money.
Yep.
They were the first school out of like all of them, and they.
I can't believe that you think
Biggest
you have better
and number
eyes than me and Farquhar.
Well, yeah.
Farquhars are naturally blue. You
Mine
look
are
like a Nazi
naturally
a
blue.
little bit, but it's okay.
Low
Look
key.
at my.
Mine are gray green.
Look how pretty
bro.
my
They're
eyes are.
gorgeous.
The thing that
Look how pretty my eyes are.
That's
The-
not. Why'd you show us?
that's
that
not a
picture?
good picture.
I just
The,
the first
uh,
one popped up.
The thing that puts me ahead is the eyelashes. I have women eyelashes.
You have long eyelashes,
They're very long.
but just straight color.
But does that put you ahead?
yeah,
just straight
because
color.
the whole eye. If you're talking about the whole eye, right?
Well, then can we
These
talk about
eyelids,
eyebrows
these
too?
eyelashes. No. Well, no.
Yeah, eyebrow. It's part of the name.
It's eyebrow though. I mean, okay, fine.
Eyelashes, eyebrow.
All right, fine. But okay, one of them is connected to the F and eye, like right next to the eyeball. The other one's
The other one's right next to it too. It's just not touching.
It's a little bit further away.
Nah, it is
Trinity,
a little bit further.
What do you consider to be the eye? Is it the eyebrow? Is that considered? Or is it eyelashes?
I
Or
would not consider either. I would consider just the eye.
just the color of the eye?
Just the color.
Ooh,
Okay,
then
all
you
of ours are
done.
pretty close because we're all blue.
Boost,
and
like
Hazel.
it's me, Colt, and then you're kind of like.
Bro, what are you
Okay,
talking
it's
about?
Colt, Mason, and then Galley.
Yeah.
What? That's not even. Now
That's
it's just you guys
true.
are ganging it up.
No, it's not.
Trinity, what do you think?
I'm not gonna answer that. Obviously.
I just want someone that's not connected
Listen,
in a
I
marriage
feel like
to
I've
like
gotten
give us
connected.
rational
I've been
That's
answers.
what I'm saying.
complimented throughout
That's what
my-
I'm saying.
My life.
I'm tired
with
of-
my eyes.
Literally, I've
Consistently
only
a
been
lot.
consistently complimented on my eyes and my
Same.
eyelashes.
And
Everyone's like, "Hey, I want your eyelashes. Oh my god, do you wear mascara?
not
I need
eyelashes,
them."
bro.
Hey,
With the
that's a
color of
beard,
your
bro.
eyes,
That's not a good pick.
Look
Show
at
that
that.
pick.
That's a beard, bro.
bro. You look like you just got off a pirate ship. Chill out.
Hey,
Like
why you still my pirate joke of the day?
No, bro, dude.
I
You
started
look
the
like
pirate
you a
joke.
stowaway. That's what you look like.
Look at me.
Is that
Look
Castaway?
how cute I am. Man.
Bro, even in the water, it
I
doesn't
don't like
help
that
it.
Man.
mustache.
Dang.
The
It looks
mustache.
like you shaved-
Okay, hold on.
It looks like you shaved your pubes
The
and glued
beard
your
has a
face.
decent. The beard has a decent color.
Almost.
I don't hate the beard
Yeah.
color. That's a decent
I get a little.
color.
I get a little red in
That
there.
mustache is not there.
Let me see it again. Let me see it again.
It looks like you're Amish.
He's like an Amish that
Man,
isn't
I'm
very good at
cute.
being
Get out of here,
blonde.
bro.
And
That's
your
me-
eyelashes
that's me
are
and
tiny,
awesome,
bro.
bro.
Hey, watch that video.
Nah, that's.
What? Okay,
It's,
F you
it's
too,
bad
then.
radio.
It is bad radio. Sorry, guys.
You guys like to play videos on the mic, and it just screws it up.
Colt does.
Cole
What?
also like types loud, and he like slams on the ground. Or
you do
snaps.
type so loud it hurt. Like
I can type
I'm
70 words per
afraid.
minute.
I'm afraid of for my laptop.
I tested it.
pretty good
After you
for
guys
you.
were making fun of me, I was like, well, I type a lot. So I tested it. It's consistently 70
What
words
is it?
per minute.
I'm about to type right
I
now.
did some type of test like that for solar rate, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was like 63.
60 is the average.
Okay,
Like-
like that then. Yeah.
And so
sounds right.
70 is pretty good.
Like I'm competent when I'm doing it. Like I'm like, but I'm not like my sister. She can do constant.
Trying to write books.
You know.
Freaking got
Well,
good
there
at
you
it.
go. Yeah. That's why. I mean, if you want to.
That's
do
also
that,
why I
then that's
type
kind of-
hard because I'm like, I don't think about it. I just go.
I feel like you would.
And
I
I
feel like
used
you would
to type on
love a
different
mechanical keyboard. Like, that
Why?
sounds
What's
like
the
you.
difference?
Mechanical is like it's a little higher, like they're a little more elevated.
I like
and
the
every
feeling of it
step.
pressing
it's like,
down.
Yeah, that's what a mechanical keyboard is. Like,
Yeah. Because I know these don't move much.
that
I
smells
think that's
good.
why I
What's
hit them
that?
so hard.
Is that like a toast with some banana and maybe
Hey,
some jelly on
let's
that?
talk about something, bro. That's
How
definitely mac
close
and
was I?
cheese. It's definitely mac and cheese.
How close was I?
It's peanut butter waffles, so it's like.
Dang.
Is there a banana?
I really thought it
involved?
was mac and
There's
cheese.
no bananas right
Callie, let's talk about
you would
something.
have been good
real
if you had a banana.
That would have been good.
But you're wrong.
Let's talk about this.
What's up,
Is
I don't
Ezekiel
wanna
going
talk
to
about
play
this.
this year?
Elliot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm out of this conversation.
Are they gonna? You think they're gonna up it up?
I was having fun.
If are they gonna pay him?
Yeah.
We're talking about
Yeah, they're
great
gonna pay
fun
him.
topics.
I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing with this holdout is
Does he have good facial
He's-
hair?
Zeke has
Yeah.
a great beard. So they have to pay him, Dak, and Amari Cooper next year if
Right.
if they don't get something going with Zeke. So here's the thing with Zeke is Jerry Jones came out and he was like, you don't need a rushing champion to win a Super Bowl. Okay, that's true, but the only other Super Bowls he's won is with Emmitt Smith, who was the leading rushing champion at that time anyway.
Right.
So you need a foundational running back, and I'm not mad at Jerry Jones, right? I don't care either way. I'm not a Dallas fan, but I'm saying like I'm not on the side of Jerry Jones, right? And thinking that no, you need to you can't let players decide what your cap is and what you can do, because the more money you give to one guy is less you can give to another, right? That's just how that works. But at the same time, I agree with Zeke, because if you're a running back, you have such a short window. You have 7 years, maybe.
Yeah.
7 years. You get drafted, right? You have 4 years on a rookie contract. You have another year of an option, of a team option, and then they can franchise you for another year. That's 6 years that you can potentially be paid very cheap. You could be a rushing champion, and you could be paid a couple $1 million to be one of the best running backs in the league.
Which is ridiculous.
And then you only have another year or two before you start degrading to get your money. So him holding out and trying to get as much money as he can, like Le'Veon Bell did, right? Le'Veon Bell wanted to do that. Steelers weren't going to pay him. Someone did. Granted, the Jets ended up paying him less than what the Steelers would have. That didn't really work out for Matt well, but he got the point across that he wasn't going to go back unless he was able to make a deal. But when the team was like, all right, that's not worth it for us, you need to go somewhere else, someone else picked up that check. Me being a Viking fan, always looking at things like, franchise, free agency, things like that. If we could find a way to pay Zeke, it would be tremendous. I think he's one of the best backs, top 3 backs in the league, if not number 1. And he deserves every penny, especially because their lives are so small. Okay.
I do.
Hold on, man.
No, I'm being honest with you.
Zeke was the first. Okay. Saquon is great. He's gonna be a phenomenal back. It was 1 year though.
Ooh, what?
He needs to have more. This year he can come out.
Okay, based off of that though, I still think so. Also, I know everyone loves.
His rookie year wasn't better.
I know
than
everyone
Zeke's
loves the
rookie year.
oldies and they don't like to down them and be like, "Oh, no one's better than this person." But these running backs nowadays are better than Barry Sanders. I'm not lying. I promise you.
Man, I don't know.
I promise you. I know Barry Sanders is a stud. Yes, don't get me wrong. Not downing him at all. He's still on the same level.
You can make the argument that quarterbacks in the past were better than quarterbacks today. Every quarterback today is getting 5,000 yards. Why? Because you don't have the same type of. You don't have the same. You have the same. They didn't have the restrictions that they do now. So things like when you're basically taking the teeth away from the defense. So what's happening is you're having a pass first option. You're going to take.
Defense.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
With every type
I'm
of
thinking
penalty
in general.
you
I'm
get.
thinking general,
Phrase.
not stats.
It's a good phrase.
Physical ability. Thinking of that. Not
Things have
stats.
progressed. For sure, things have progressed.
Everything's
every year.
progressed.
Yeah, everything's progressed every year.
They're
because
playing
you have-
against harder
you have
Why do you
defenses.
think that
They're
is?
playing faster defenses.
You have better nutrition.
Technology and
Yeah,
learning more.
I think so.
Everything.
You have better nutrition.
Yeah.
You have better access to higher tech technology to get you involved.
So
in
I'm
higher-
saying,
Yeah, I get all
take that person at his time, Barry Sanders. He might be different now, but I'm saying take both these guys at their prime, okay? And a few backs now are better than Barry Sanders, in my opinion, and that's a couple backs.
That's hard though. It's okay.
It is hard, but
That's
I
Jerry
think so.
Rice, right? Considered
So
the
why
greatest
you're
receiver of all
LeBron?
time.
You're LeBron over MJ, right?
Yes.
So why?
LeBron is a much more physical person in general. He could easily dominate him.
Okay,
one-on-one,
that's
for
what I'm going off
But
of,
not
too.
even just that. He's played every
Statistically-
position. He is going to beat him statistically in every category when he's done. And he's playing with. Okay, that's a good point because I think LeBron and how he's dominating people now. The playing field of people now, I think, is better than what MJ dealt with.
Exactly. Same with Barry Sanders,
I
for
do
sure.
agree. I can agree with that.
Plus, Barry Sanders getting more touches of the ball because it's a very run-heavy offense.
But I look at someone like, all right, Matt Stafford, right?
Yeah.
He gets 5,000 yards. It's not that big of a deal. He gets a lot of stats every year. He's high stats.
Yeah.
5,000 yards in a year 20 years ago was huge. That's Dan Marino only doing that. Maybe Brett Favre did it.
Right,
It was not common.
Yeah.
I don't think that Matt Stafford is better than Dan Marino. Just because his stats show it now, I think that there's
so that's
I think
that's the
overall athletes now
So that's
are
the
better,
opposite.
but I think there's certain aspects where quarterbacks, for one, I think aren't that much better, if they are better even, than previous quarterbacks. Previous quarterbacks had to deal with much harder rules and things like you could hit a receiver off the line, you could hit him past 5 yards. You can't do that now. Any type of pass interference, things like that gets called, that happens all the time. You have a lot more that you have to work with now, and you also have receivers today that are unbelievable athletes.
I think
unbelievable.
Okay,
athletes.
I think quarterbacks nowadays are smarter than in that sense.
You can make that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make that argument. They
But
also have a lot more tools at their disposal.
I think there are quarterbacks now that are. I honestly, I hope I don't jinx it, but I think Patrick Mahomes will be
he could be amazing.
amazing. Yeah, like
could be
one of the
amazing.
greats.
Yeah, he could, and
Yeah.
so could Carson Wentz if he stays healthy. He could. Andrew Luck.
He hasn't won me over. Anyways, I don't want to stay on this too long because it's sports, and
I like that.
I do too. But I want to, I want Cole in on this.
But here's the thing.
I enjoy listening.
You
When
enjoy
guys
listening.
tell
You
me
like
why-
sports,
When
like-
you tell me, when you explain the reason why behind something, it's interesting.
The next question I had, and I forgot it.
They probably couldn't hear me because of leaning away. But when you guys talk about why, that's when it gets interesting.
What do you mean why?
Like you say this
Our
quarterbacks
arguments
today
behind it.
are whatever you said. The running backs today are way better than those in the past. It's like, what's your reasoning behind that? And you explain why. That's interesting. The individual people that you're talking about, I don't know who they are, so I don't care.
You don't know who Zeke is?
No.
Zeke Elliott.
Last-
When you talk about these grand, like a grand picture like that, like I know football enough to know what you're talking about. So it's just like, that's interesting.
Why don't you
My
focus on NFL or anything like that?
I don't really have a place to do it. Like I would have to
Come over, bro. Every
find.
Sunday.
I would have to find first to do it, and I just never really cared. I never watched the games growing up, so it just doesn't intrigue me now.
What about
My-
college football? You watch
My
that?
last question.
I like college a little bit more, but I still. You talk about a player, I couldn't tell you.
College moves so quickly that's understandable though. NFL, you can know players and know players for. a
But
long
Dad
time.
was
love-
always college. He liked college. I didn't care.
Most
College
people
is more
down
of
here like
Oklahoma.
college more.
Yeah, so college is
We don't
more
have
about
an
my
NFL
alley.
team.
Right.
That's
you don't.
really
and
it.
you have you also
Really
have
it.
like two incredible caliber teams
Yeah.
usually. Especially
Well,
one in particular.
One in
Yeah.
particular.
One that's always relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys are always relevant, but
Yeah.
OU's obviously a staple
OU's
of. He's a
dominant
OU's a
staple
top
of football.
5 college football team
Top
ever.
3, I think. I would argue top 3.
consistently.
Top 3 consistently of
National
all
championship.
time.
If you were to look at all time,
Yes,
Yeah.
OU, even over Alabama.
You think they're better than Alabama?
No, not now. I'm
Oh.
saying overtime statistics for like a program. OU.
Well, I don't think so. OU
Top
only has
3.
what 4 national championships.
I think so. I think something like that.
Alabama's got like what?
How many
I think
Heisels does
7?
Alabama have?
Ah, man, I don't know. You know who has
It's
7?
it's pretty even though.
You know who has like 7 national championships? Minnesota, effing powerhouse
Is that football only or is
football.
that really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
dominated the 50s. Legit.
I have a
I got
you'll
you.
enjoy this. I'm coaching with a guy from Minnesota.
What's his
so
name?
Bro, Minnesota keeps popping up on radar.
he's
Everybody's
literally
talking
just-
about Minnesota.
he's
Minnesota's like
you,
a thing right now.
basically.
It's the thing.
And
He
it's
has a
just
little
their
nice
life.
little accent, Nice little accent.
What's coming up? What do you mean?
Like I told you about Trinity's dad's in Minnesota right now. I feel like I met a guy the other day from Minnesota.
We talked about Minnesota the other day.
I talked to one of the guys that works out there, and he was like, "Oh, I lived in Minnesota for a while." So it just people keep popping up. We talk about
It's the
Minnesota.
thing, man.
Yeah. It's not the thing. I wouldn't say it's the thing.
God's saying like, "Hey man, you want to go to Minnesota?" You know what I mean?
Anyways, my last
was your
sports
second
question here was, what do you think of Ben Roethlisberger?
Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
What do I think about him?
I mean, he doesn't
He's
have
a Hall of
Le'Veon.
Fame quarterback.
Yeah, he is. But the fate of
James-
Ben Roethlisberger for this next.
He'll be fine. No. He'll,
so?
he'll be fine. He's happy.
Well, his
He's-
last name is ridiculous to spell.
He's got
Yeah,
James
it is.
Conner, who's from everything that's pointing, he's going to be very.
That's very
competent.
true. Yeah.
He's got Juju balling
Yeah.
out. Like he's got a good defense. He's got a Hall of Fame coach in Mike Tomlin. You know, there's only been all right. Get this. Think about how storied the
Bro.
Pittsburgh Steelers are. Right?
Yeah.
They're tied #1 with the Patriots in the most Super Bowls ever, 7.
Right.
Right?
This man looks like a
Right.
dad.
Who is it?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Look at
funny.
him.
Bro, he old as
yeah.
crap.
He
Huge.
just looks like
Old
a dad.
and he kind of chubby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, hey,
dude, he
he's
just-
hard to take down. You should watch
He
videos
is.
of him. He can escape the pocket like nothing
He
else.
weighs 241 pounds.
You should look
It's
up
not
all,
like
his,
he's-
all his injuries and tell me how many injuries he's had in his life.
You watch videos of him escaping the pocket. It's unbelievable. It looks like he'd be like some super elusive quarterback because he's so shifty in the pocket and he's a massive guy. But anyway, there's been 3 coaches in all of Pittsburgh history. Think about how crazy that is. How
That's
long
insane.
Pittsburgh Steelers have been around. How storied they are.
Yeah.
For everything that they've won and done before. Like, they're one of the most popular franchises ever, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they've had 3 coaches. That's insane. Every one of those coaches are Hall of Fame.
23.
Yeah.
23 what?
Injuries.
23
Football.
documented injuries.
It's.
during
Do you
his
see the
NFL.
chart? Does it show the chart? the chart's so funny. It like goes all the way down his leg, like his whole body.
What do you
It's
think
like,
about him? Why'd you ask me that? What do
I
you
was
think about
just curious. I mean, they just lost Le'Veon,
Mhm.
and I know AB Ben Roethlisberger played a role in why they lost AB.
Right.
I don't know the specifics on that, but I know he didn't have the greatest year
Like
last
what we
year.
said earlier, next man up, and I think the next man up in both positions are suitable enough.
Ballin'.
They're not. Juju's not AB,
Ballin'.
and
Yeah.
James Conner is not Le'Veon Bell.
Right.
But if you're going from A plus and A to
What is
a
that?
B plus and B minus,
We'll talk about that.
You'll still be fine.
Yeah.
right? Because I think that obviously Antonio Brown is an A plus athlete, Le'Veon is an A, Juju's a B plus,
Right.
and James Conner is probably a B minus. Like you're
I
not.
agree.
It's not hurting you too much.
Okay.
And
Just
it might
curious.
be. It might make up for it if one of them were, a locker room cancer, which people say that Antonio was. So you get that out of there.
I
It helps a
assume
lot.
Le'Veon might have been too.
He could have been for sure. I think that a lot of the players.
What makes a
weren't
player
ever-
like that? Just a butthole? Like people just don't like him? Is that
Well,
what?
you
is
know,
that
it
what
gets
does
in.
that?
They might get in their head about things. They might be, money might get to them if they get a little bit of dough.
I think
they
I
might
was
get
watching.
higher than others.
You watched Hard Knocks the other day, and you kind of looked at AB and the motives. I can't remember the exact term of what people were saying, but for example, Derek Carr said something like, "Hey, let's go win a Super Bowl. It's all about winning a Super Bowl." Blah blah blah. Derek Carr said that, and then it showed AB and what he was saying before, and he said something like, and it wasn't exactly like it. I'll have to look it up again, but he said something like, "Hey, this season is about me, like getting me back to where I was." So I think just a mindset of like what you're playing for
Yeah, what your
makes
goals are.
makes a player a cancer in the locker room or not.
But here's
You know
the thing:
what I mean?
like a quarterback has to say that though too. Like every
Yeah,
quarterback,
I know.
if you're,
I'm
if you're
not
a
even
quarterback
saying it's
and
just
you're not
quarterback.
saying it's about the Super Bowl, it's about the team, it's about that. Like you're the leader of that team. If you don't do that, you're gonna get tore up on national
Well,
media,
yeah.
things like that. Like you're gonna lose the locker room.
But I think that mindset in general, I think that can be dangerous for a team, and that's with everyone, especially in the NFL. People
I
trying
mean,
to
you
get their
get that
money,
many dudes.
and people understand that people are trying to get their money too. Like they're on the same level. It's
Yeah.
not like they're pissed at them for leaving. People
Exactly.
understand.
Yeah, people
you know?
get it. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
get your money when you can. You're only in that business for 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Like, if
Exactly.
you can't make your money, you're after that. Like,
You got to make up for not making money in college.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And all the high school concussions.
And a
people
lot of
have.
times, these dudes that get into bad spending habits when they're in because they got some money,
Yeah.
dude, that goes away quick if you're living the next 40, 50, 60 years of your life and you got no income like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you get $1 million houses and you're only making $1 million a year for that certain amount of time, like, that catches up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got that lifestyle now of like, all these cars and all this different, like, jets and everything like that. That goes away quick.
Definitely.
30 for 30 broke, if you've ever seen that. Phenomenal 30 for 30 on that. And it was kind of focusing more on NBA. They have a bigger problem with it. But it's about athletes that come in out of high school or out of college. And it was out of high school, too, because in the in NBA, you don't have to go to college to go to the NBA.
No.
So these kids coming out of high school maybe haven't established how to spend money well. Boom, they start getting a
This is
couple
their
million
first time to
dollars.
have
Would you?
Right.
Well, let's say
This could be literally
flip
their
it
first
around
job.
now. If it's
Theoretically-
you, what do you? I know it's different whenever if it actually happens or not. But like,
Literally just turn
what
it
if
off.
what if you get a big sum for getting drafted?
Right.
What are you gonna do with it?
I
Are you
feel
gonna
like
treat yourself? I'm
I
gonna
would
treat
like to-
myself a little bit.
I'd like
you know?
to think I'd get a financial advisor, though. Like, I'd like to
Yeah.
think that that's what I would do in that
Yeah.
situation. Be
Well,
like,
I,
all
thi-
right,
I think
look,
that's
I'm getting a
automatic. I
few
think
million.
anyone would. Okay.
Not
I think
everybody does.
not everybody
That's
does.
that's the
the
thing.
next thing, that's true. That's
That's the
true.
thing. That's
Because
what I'm
we
using-
think differently.
You thi-
Because
because-
my next thing is, all right, what do I got to pay off? What are my
That's
debts?
what I'm thinking. I'm
Where
like,
my
how
debts
can
at?
I make sure that I'm
Where
safe for the
are
rest
my
of my
family's
life?
debts? I
Yeah.
want to set my family up well too.
How can I make sure that our financial situations are fine
But
the rest of
also,
my life?
I feel
Some
like
people
someone
are
as
like,
generous
shoot.
has to be careful too, because then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're giving
Oh, yeah.
people $1,000 each, and you're
Right.
like,
Because I think
oh,
about
shoot.
that sometimes. I'm like, I think about my situation. I'm like, man, it'd be cool if somebody just gave me $1,000. So if I had like a
Yeah.
$2 million and I saw somebody just like, yeah, I got to get my car fixed. I got to wait till next week though because I can get my paycheck. I'd be like, here's $600. Go do whatever. Here's $2,000. Go
Yeah.
get a new car. Like,
But
you know
you
what
gotta
I
be
mean?
careful, 'cause
But
that's-
that's what I mean. Is like, with
I feel like that can also be a selfish thing too, because it's not necessarily. I know it sounds weird to say, but it's like, hey, here's $2,000. You owe me. You know, it's that reciprocity. Right? The business world, they call it the,
would you
law
do it
of
with-
reciprocity. It's, I owe you something now. You know what I mean? And I feel like people can kind of put money on people and say like, hey,
Uh-huh.
you owe me something now.
I could see that, but
and
I don't
not
think
not
that
a spoken thing. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you don't, but I'm saying a lot of people can't. Or they try and show off.
See,
They're
that's
saying,
what I think people
hey,
would,
this
would
is
get.
yeah.
That's what they would see, and so you probably wouldn't be as generous because you
Yeah.
do it like once, and then you're like, oh wait, they kind of thought I was a butthole because
Yeah.
I was showing off how much money I had.
Yeah.
So maybe
Or
that's
in
part of it.
ministry, a lot of times you have to be careful with what you're doing your donations for, because you could, like
People start trying to
you step over
use it.
lines.
Yeah.
What do you think about that
Some
one
people-
pastor in Texas? What's his name?
Which
The
one?
Smiley one.
Osteen?
Yeah.
Joel.
How it
Osteen?
costs like money and
Osteen.
stuff to sit in the front rows and everything like that. Like, what's that like? Like, what do you think about that kind of stuff?
So I'm always like sketchy.
Or that
to
like
think
that thing
about
with like
stuff,
that
'cause I
he
don't
didn't
know it
he
enough.
didn't open up the church when the Houston flooding happened,
Yeah,
and like he had to like get people had to like get they're pissed on Twitter and stuff that they eventually opened the church
Sometimes
up.
I feel like that's an easy thing to attack because it's just like, you're a church, you should do this, but you don't you're not there. Because at the same time, working at the church.
But if you're in charge of that church, like you have to know the optics of that, though, right? Like,
Yeah, you have
hey,
to
this is a
understand.
citywide thing. Like, we're gonna even if it's like if you can't really do it, you're gonna have to.
try.
Like, because you're gonna be people are gonna look at you. They're gonna look at your salary. They're gonna look at what the church is and how beautiful it is, everything like that. It's like, hey, there's gonna be an optical thing. You know what I mean? It's gonna be an outward view. Like, how can we mitigate the negativity that's going to be happening? And like, I feel like if I'm in charge of the church, I'm like,
There's
even if
just
we
so
can't
much
sustain it, like even if that's
deep.
going to destroy this church, like physically, right?
But
like,
it-
you gotta have
physically, like, what would be more destroying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you also got to look at what outweighs what.
to. Right?
Like, if I let people in and the church closes down, then maybe a family that, I don't know. There's just so many different obstacles.
but I
that,
feel like as like the leader of the church, like if you were to break down everything with that church and just made it the walls and like the message you're giving, that's all that matters with the church.
yeah.
So like the more people you bring in, if you can fit 10,000 people into a church, like, and yeah, they're in not great living conditions, but they're dry. Then what if you ministered them there? You know what I mean? And what if you use that as a vessel?
Yeah, I just don't know
at
all
that
the stuff
point?
that like went
Right,
into
and
the thought.
we never will,
That's all I'm
but
saying.
I
Is
have
like
the thought process
there
that
might
God
be.
has never really rewarded somebody for not doing something out of kindness, in the sense that was an action. Not knowing the whole situation, you can't really judge it. But from the outside, it looks like he was like, okay, in my head, I can save more if I don't screw up the church. Bringing all these people in is going to damage the church. It's going to affect it to where we can't do service.
Right.
More people are going to get hurt from that. But wholeheartedly, I believe God takes those situations that you have to put a little extra in where you think it may crumble,
Mhm.
and he uses that exponentially more than you could ever consider. It's
Right.
like putting, I mean, it's just, yeah, I got
I think
plenty of
I
examples
would
that
look
don't
at
matter,
it like God is like he's like, hey man, like I get it, but you have to do this.
but, yeah.
You know, it's like this is gonna suck, but you're gonna have to do this. You're a leader of this city, and you have this church, and it's the biggest church anywhere near. It's the only place of refuge for these types of people. Like this is something you have to do.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and
it's
I
so
know,
easy to
him
propose
as a
him
whole-
specifically.
And
For
then,
sure,
and then
for
that him as a whole also he's got a lot of criticism, and I've never like. I think it's important for us to hold people accountable, of course, but also.
like, what do you think about pastors
Remember that
making
they're
millions?
also
Like, that's
pastors.
kind of the thing, right? Is like that he's made millions of dollars. Is that looked at like, hey man, that's him doing what he can? Like that's him getting
I
his
think
thing,
that-
or is it like you're in the position where
You also don't know.
you sacrifice that?
The church, I mean, essentially comes down to what the church decides to give the pastor. Most of the times, the church is set up to pay the pastor what they want to pay him, right? He usually doesn't have what millions from that. If he does have millions, it's from books and other
Yeah.
time he's put in
Right.
speaking other places, stuff like that.
A lot of
that
pastors take
But
their
okay, what
revenue
I'm
from
saying
other
is like, do you
sources.
think that
Homes,
a
rental
pastor
homes,
is something where it can't be? You can't look at a pastor as a job, as like anything else. So money that you're like, is there an actual moral argument against pastors being millionaires? Because the fabric of what a pastor should be and embodied as is not revolvent around money. Enough money that you can do things, right? Like
Yeah.
enough money that you can do ministries, or you can go to outreaches, or you can sponsor, mission trips, things like that. But should pastors, on a moral level, if you're a pastor, like, should you accept $1 million salary, even if the church is like, hey man, we'd love to give you this? Like, is that an acceptance on you? Is that something?
I
where
mean,
you-
look, I know Solomon was a king,
He
but
was a
God
king.
made him rich. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and just by that, you see that God's okay with someone being rich. Of course, money can get in the way, and there's definitely there's really no right answer to this at all. But
You can also
especially
look
we're
at
not
it-
in the shoes of that too.
Yeah,
Right.
you can
But-
also look. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Keep
Go
going
ahead.
in. You can look at it from the perspective that we don't know what Joel Osteen does with his millions of dollars. If he gave it to Joe Blow over there, Joe Blow may keep it in his bank
Or where he
account
gets
forever.
it too.
And
'Cause-
Joel Osteen may give 50% of it to some charity, and God is allowing that to happen because he knows that money's going to go to good uses. That's why I'm giving it to this person.
But do you think he should?
I don't. I
Like, would
that's-
you have a quarrel with a pastor
so
buying a $6 million
maybe the
home?
better way to say it is it Okay, that's a good.
That's a
Right,
good
like,
argument right there.
if they
because
pull
you're
up in a
that's
Bentley,
totally
is that
for you.
wrong?
Yeah.
even if it's the money that they made from books,
It would feel wrong. Okay,
So,
but I think
would
it'd
it-
be important to
I
like.
knew a pastor that was a small church,
Yeah.
and like I knew that he was this church wasn't doing well, and I saw him pull up in a brand new Camaro, and so I got a bitter feeling in my stomach. You're like, I know that your ministry isn't doing well, and I know that you don't work any other job, but I see you pull up in a brand new Camaro. I don't know what's going on. He could be doing something else. I don't know his whole life.
Yeah.
But it does give you that like internal bitterness, like what.
But you also
happened?
don't.
That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking. Is
Yeah.
like you're kind of held to a different. You're not a normal
Yeah,
person.
you're
job.
held to a different standard.
You
but
have to be.
you also remember that they are still people.
They
So,
are
like,
still
that-
people, but
And
that
it
urge
is
to buy
it-
things
yeah.
is they still got it the same way as everybody else,
Yeah.
and the urge to have money and keep their family safe.
And you also don't like they don't really disclose a lot of information, which can be scary. But also like for a long time, I didn't know. This might be false even. Like you don't even know, but like I've heard that Pastor Craig with Life Church doesn't take a salary from the church. I've heard that, and so whether you hear that or not, then I don't know. Like he could, he has a side business of renting out houses and stuff like that, and I've never heard him say that ever. Besides maybe like once last year.
I think you talked about it one time.
One time. And so you could go, like I've been at Life Church for 8 years and hearing those messages, and he's never disclosed that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, you really just don't know.
it's kind of
what's going
interesting.
on.
It's an interesting like.
To be honest, when it comes down to it, so many things that when it comes to the church, like it doesn't really matter. As long as people are being saved, as long as the pastor loves God and is doing his best to do his best, that's all that matters.
Right. And
And
again,
he's not stealing.
you're not going to be the one judging at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it doesn't.
so.
I don't care. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal. It's kind of like those debates. That's like
I think
predestination or free will. It's
there's
like,
never a...
it's just like it doesn't matter.
It's never
Right,
Chill.
exactly.
Doesn't matter.
I
even
think
a
the
little
biggest
bit.
thing the church is going to like run into is like celebrity type stuff though. Like a lot of pastors kind of realizing like, oh, like pastors are kind of becoming a big deal.
Yeah.
I want to be a pastor. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I guess-
having that sense
100%.
of, and that was something that was like for me. I was like,
You had to kind of watch.
I realized, I had to watch it because
Mhm.
my entire life I've had football, which led into being in a spotlight,
Mhm.
which led into I knew I needed to be ministry. I knew I was good at public speaking, and then everyone told me, "Hey, you need to be a pastor, and I felt it. Like I loved doing that, but also wasn't, was kind of listening to more of those voices and like what was more popular among.
I can
the mass.
imagine it. I can imagine someone like that. That's like a mega pastor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Stephen Furtick has to kind of like catch himself. Probably. You know what I mean? Like
Which is cool
I have
because
to, like,
they
kinda
do.
watch.
Like,
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
sure,
know them as
yeah.
a pastor, like they retreat. Like Pastor Mike Todd, Transformation
Mm-hmm.
Church here in Tulsa, he retreats for like a month.
Yeah,
like
July.
he goes off. Yeah,
So he just goes with his family and
does that
stuff.
during
And,
June.
yeah. So I think it's cool to see that, and you really, it's hard to, it's just you.
and
really
it'd be
can't
weird, being like a
judged.
Pastor Mike, or Mike Todd, like
Yeah.
getting to like find like I don't know, being in transformation where you just see this unprecedented like exponential explosion
Out
in
of
the church.
nowhere.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you see that and like no, it's really you that's doing it. It's like to not get fully, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that'd be like you'd want to get so excited for the church, for you, for everything, and you have to be like, all right, like this is like I have to settle
which
down.
is
He's talked
tough.
about that before, obviously, but it's
Yeah.
like you gotta like settle down and like find out what your goals. Because he was talking about how they'd have goals for the church and like we can do this, and they have to kind of think like, okay, we have to like settle down a little bit and kind of like realize where our goals are and what they should be, and how that should be reflective on our church. And it shouldn't just be like because we can do all these different things that we necessarily have to jump on that. Like we have to
Yeah.
build, and you have to set the foundations for it too. I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of an interesting topic, but like I've always thought that too. Like if I saw pastors roll up in a Bentley, if it's like, hey man,
Yeah, I feel like it's
Like, I get
unsettling,
it.
but there's
It's
so much
unsettling, that's it.
background and stuff. It's like you will get judged, and I think pastors understand that.
Exactly.
You have to understand that,
and that's
You
what I was.
have to.
That's what I was saying with like the Houston thing.
Yeah,
Is like even if it's completely in the right that he did, maybe there's like maybe there was like a freaking propane leak. And it was
Yeah.
like they couldn't let people in, right, for
Yeah.
their safety. The optics are like, hey man, as soon as like
The
a
perception
national like
is
a
rough.
exactly
Yeah.
like,
and even
but-
so, like even if the pastor doesn't make a wrong decision, like it's not even about him. It's about the
Exactly.
church as a whole. And then
Right.
I'm sure even if Joel Osteen kind of like made the wrong decision, say he did, and had the wrong motive, I saw a lot of church people that work at the church and are from there have so much pride in like stepping up for the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like you see the good come out of that, and God uses that.
And there's always gonna be people
Rough
that want
patch.
to like they're waiting.
Yeah.
That are waiting for
To-
you guys
to
be
point
like,
fingers and
Exactly,
to
they're
someone
waiting
fall.
for you guys to not open that
Absolutely.
church. And they're like, hey man,
Yeah.
we got you. You know
There's
what I mean?
always-
Like there's
there's
always
always
people
the
that are ready
side.
for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like who? Honestly, too. Think about it. Like you're in your big church, and someone just randomly walks by and they're like, "Hey, it's kind of flooding. Like, why aren't you?
Right.
Like there's way. So everyone's trying to get popular on Twitter. Everyone's trying to get
Their
retweets.
15 seconds of fame.
Yeah. So
Cool. What are we at?
We're at 55 minutes, so
Sick.
solid
Yeah.
podcast, boys.
All over the place, but let
yeah,
it
that's
do.
good. That's what we're. Galley's back.
Galley's
Also
back.
now Galley back.
Yeah. Dion is in town, and
We haven't had him
he'll
on.
be here till next Tuesday. So if we want to do something earlier,
Oh,
maybe
you'll
with
be able to
him.
come on.
If we did it earlier, then we could, but that's up to y'all. But just letting you know, Neon Dion, shout out.
Okay,
All right, man.
guys, like, subscribe, leave reviews.
Bye.
We love you.